Yeah, so I went to was it Safeway today.
Yeah.
Guess what was out front? Guess what I
Um,
saw at Safeway?
was it the Safeway masturbator? Because we've been trying to get him on the show for years before he even started.
No, he wasn't out front. Actually, he was in the frozen foods aisle. No,
Oh, nice.
the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. I don't think I've
Oh
ever seen it in
shit!
person.
That's like seeing
Yeah,
OJ's Bronco.
exactly like it. Yeah, and involved in as many crimes.
Oh
Um,
man.
yeah, yeah, they're having some kind of I don't know giveaway or something. I didn't do it. I just saw the Wienermobile, but it was pretty cool. It's a lot smaller than I imagined it would
Well,
be.
I mean, it's Denver. It could be, cold. It could have been nervous being out there in front of those many people. I don't think you need to talk about that.
Sure.
How
I'm
many
sure.
how many Wienermobiles does Oscar Mayer have on the road at a given time? Is that like public information?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I never thought about that.
Right?
Yeah, because
Like,
they have to. There's got to be a fleet of them, right? It's not just a or the Wienermobile,
would it be
right?
uncouth for me to look this up? Would it violate the gentleman's agreement of like not do it? That I feel like it's interesting information
Not
that our audience would like to know.
not not outing the amount of Wienermobiles there are.
Yeah. Are there
All right.
So Oscar Mayer has 6 Wienermobiles that travel around the U.S. year round. They're
Okay.
27 feet long. Only
Oh.
12 quote unquote hotdoggers get to drive them each year.
Oh.
Um, yeah, they have to be college seniors who are about to graduate from school to drive the Oscar Wienermobile, which means for sure, like, people have fucked in those Wienermobiles, like at least in the 70s.
Right. At least in the seven. Yeah.
I mean,
Probably
now,
actively while
well,
I thought.
now there's dash cams in them. You can't. Like, now you're gonna get caught, and they know it.
Well, you
And
can't fuck in front of it, but the dash cam's not inside,
I think
presumably.
that I think the members of Gen Z that are having sex, Gen Z listeners, let me know if I'm wrong about this. The members of Gen Z that are having sex are vegan.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, I wonder why. So they only hire college seniors? That seems like an
I think it's people who are
odd
about to work
requirement.
for like Oscar Mayer corporate, maybe like people going into the hot dog
Maybe.
industry.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess when I think of like responsible person, I don't think of necessarily like someone in college.
Well, no, but
Senior,
if
no,
you're
but
only
like
picking 12 college seniors from around, there are some responsible college seniors.
oh no, absolutely. Yes.
Just
Yeah.
got to find the
Much more
traumatized ones.
right, much more
So
responsible than I
if we
am
ever have an
right now.
intern, if we ever have an intern, I'm just going for the ones that have been through the worst shit. They're gonna have their
Mhm.
shit together
Yeah, if they know what's good for them.
for real. Oh my god, I don't even know what the implication is there.
No, I don't either.
If
But
you're not a good
yeah,
intern here, you won't be an intern in this town again. We'll start fucking
right,
paying you. Shit.
right. Damn it. It feels like that wasn't what I wanted.
Oh my god. All right. So anyway,
Uh,
yeah. So it is
yeah,
12 college seniors a year. Let me see if I can find out why it is. I guess people find out all sorts of information. Also, wiener. I guess it's I before E, except after C. I've been spelling wiener long. I guess wiener wrong. Holy
oh,
shit. That
we
was
were wrong.
Freudian.
Yeah,
That was a bit Freudian,
right.
wasn't it? Let me see. So they're called a hot dogger. The hot dogger's job is according to Wikipedia, meet, but spelled like, MEAT in quotes, and
Sure.
greet people
Uh-huh.
around the country. You shouldn't use that as a verb. You can't.
No,
No. Even if it's the hot
no,
dog
that's
industry,
bad. Yeah,
no, you can't go
yeah,
around meeting
right.
unsuspecting strangers. All
No,
right.
that sounds sort of horrific.
Oh my god. Well, that explains why they hire college seniors. The duties of a hot dogger include, quote, sharing photos and videos on social media, Answering
Sure.
questions about the brand and the vehicle. The most frequently asked question is if there's a bathroom in the back, to which they respond, no, it's not a weenie bago, and distributing swag. Uh,
Mhm.
Only college seniors can do it. They have to be getting their BA and BS in public relations, journalism, communications, advertising, or marketing. A hot dogger's assignment is only for 1 year. That's too long. It should be for like, I feel like it'd be like 6 months.
Right.
Um,
Like, are they continuously traveling for a year?
I don't know, man. It doesn't say. In 2018, 7,000 people applied to be hot doggers. As each Wienermobile carries 2 hot doggers, only 12 hot doggers are selected each year. Notable hot doggers include former U.S. House Speaker Paul Ryan, and then that's it. They don't list anyone else. He's the only notable hot dogger. It's
That
not.
totally tracks. That totally makes sense.
Oh my
Of
god.
course, of course, it would be Paul Ryan.
Of course, I don't even know. I mean, I guess like, if he's the only case study, is that like reflective of how being a hot dogger affects your politics? Not to offend our objectivist listeners, of course.
Right.
Or is it
Yeah, I don't
just
know.
not to
It's
offend the remaining Ryan heads,
right,
the Rye guys?
right. Yeah. Him he's cruising around the US in the Wienermobile, blaring Rage Against the Machine and not at all understanding what what the message is. Yeah,
Would
I
they
don't
come
know.
after
Maybe
you
he's
if you drove another hot dog shaped vehicle? Is the question. Like, if I made a bratwurst mobile, would they be like, you can't do that? We're sending our lawyers. Because
I don't
Disney will
know.
fuck you up, you know?
What if you drive there?
Like,
They have a hot
if
dog
you
mobile?
use a non-steamboat Willie Mickey,
Mhm.
Disney will fuck you up. They will fuck your shit up bad.
Oh, right. I don't know. Yeah. I do like the idea of a Bratmobile though.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Maybe something to keep in mind for the future of this podcast. The Metworst mobile or what?
Metwurst.
I don't know.
Are we euthanizing Mr. Met?
Right.
It's not euthanizing if you make someone into sausages. I'm using the word
No.
euthanizing very wrong there. That's just cannibalism.
Right. Well, I think that's what that copy meant when it said meat.
You think that
MEAT and
you
Greek
think
people.
that the Wienermobile drivers, they're going around the country slaughtering human beings and turning them into Oscar Mayer hot dogs to distribute around the country?
Yeah, I do. I think they're abducting them. I don't think they do the slaughtering.
All right,
I mean, it's a like college marketing major, right? Like, what do they know about slaughtering?
that's true. That's true. They know a lot about abduction, though.
Yeah, they
A
could
PR
totally
major
throw
knows
some.
how to abduct.
Absolutely, they could totally throw someone in the back of the
I don't
Wienermobile.
think. All right, can I say something? I think that, like, I majored in communications, right?
Mhm.
Communications, you major into not do shit. But like, you do not. People who major in PR. Sorry to
Mhm.
offend any of our listeners who may have majored in PR. Like, you do that because you like want to cover up for a sexual assault someday, right? Like, that's why people major in PR.
Yeah, it is hard to imagine. Like, yeah, what would be appealing? Because I think you would have to have a level of maybe moral flexibility
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
wouldn't have to have as, say, like, I don't know, a mathematics major or
Yeah,
I don't know, an engineer. Like, I think to be in PR,
more open moral
yeah, I don't know.
flexibility. I don't like
Yeah,
kids that come pre-cynical. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
I just feel like, yeah, I've been watching some like celebrity PR TikToks lately, where it's a lady who used to work in PR who will be like, "Here's how this celebrity should handle this thing," and
Oh,
usually it's her being like, "You're kind of fucked." Not always. I think she thinks like Justin Timberlake's probably would have come out of the DUI thing fine, but apparently
mhm.
there are other issues. Uh, Apparently Justin Timberlake has been. I mentioned Justin Timberlake 2 episodes ago.
Right.
The conclusion that I've come to through various group chats is I'm not touching that subject anymore.
Right. He does seem like he'd make a pretty good hot dogger driving around the Wienermobile.
Oh, he'd be a
though.
great hot. Well, no, I mean he just got. If you did you see? He just got a fucking DUI. Yeah, that's that would be dishonorable for a hot dogger, my good sir. Also, I feel like the Wienermobile Hammer. That's a van-sized vehicle. It's not a
right,
Weenie
but it's
Bago.
also right, but it's also it really draws your eye. So if and I'm not condoning drunk driving. Let me be absolutely clear.
Because wait. So can I predict this argument, Jason? I want to predict the argument you're about to make based on what you just said. It's that you shouldn't drunk drive. However, if your vehicle is visually distinctive enough, it's probably not that dangerous because people will see it coming.
Kind of. I was going to say, if Jason, you are going to drunk drive, yes, the Wienermobile, because that'll be hard to miss. To be like, oh, this guy's in my lane.
I mean, it's hard to miss. It's not, the issue isn't missing, like not seeing a drunk driver, right? Because you see the other cars. The issue is them like doing dumb shit and hitting you, and you see it happen. And there's not much you could do without hitting somebody else. Like the problem, people don't get hit by drunk drivers because they don't see them. They're not ninjas. They're not like ghosts.
No,
they make ghosts.
Well, that's true.
That's what I would. If I was the U.S. government, I know eventually I need to do an intro to the show. But if I was the U.S. government and I wanted to do a PSA against drunk driving, here's what it would be. It would be all right. Okay. So this is in the fall, right? You see raking leaves outside of the town. You see a kid. You see a guy. He's dropping. He's just downing fucking vodka infused gummy bears candy. Obviously, he's bobbing for apples. He's having a great time. He's drinking out of a skull. Then he gets into his car, and then it says, and then somebody's like, "Are you sure you're good to drive?" And he said, "Yes, and I want to get a hamburger," or something like that. He's dressed as Dracula. I don't know. We'll workshop that, right?
Okay.
Gets in his car, a sick ass 1999 Mustang Cobra, and he
hell yeah.
And he goes driving until a kid walks in front of him, and then he obviously fades to black, but we have car crash noises.
Okay.
And then later it's like 20 years later, and he's getting out of jail, and then he walks outside and he sees the Spirit Halloween store, and he looks in the window, and then the ghost of the kid he ran over with his car just rises out from under him, and he turns around and then he says, "What? It's you? Oh my God!" And then it fades to black again, and then there's a message pops up. Pops up on the screen, and it says, "Don't make a ghost this Halloween."
Oh. I love everything about that.
Do you think they'll do it?
We should make this happen. I think not only would it be an effective PSA against drunk driving, there's a pretty good chance of winning best short film at Cannes.
Ari Aster presents drunk driving. Oh my God.
Oh.
Welcome to Underworld News Tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Not a podcast where we pitch drunk driving PSAs. We already have pitched the best one. I'm Andrew Michaels, the Steven Spielberg of government PSAs against drunk driving on Halloween.
Right.
Save it for the other 364 days a year is my position. And I am joined today by my co-host, the anti-natalist Mr. Rogers, Jason Strong.
It's actually pretty close to the truth in a lot of ways.
It's just a very surprising arc. It's a very surprising arc to go.
Right.
It's not that surprising, I guess.
Right. I don't think they're like mutually exclusive. I think you can believe that like people should be respected and treated well, and also that there shouldn't be more people.
You know, we don't need to debate. I think I'm natalism neutral. I think,
Mhm.
have kids if you want. Don't be like a weirdo who yells about ethnic birth rates or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
That's
don't
like
do
not
that.
a
Right.
don't do, because then I'm gonna say, sir, this is the Spotify question, and whatever it is, it's not about that.
Right.
So please don't. Yeah, what we do on this podcast, number 12 comedy podcast in Algeria, by the way,
Hmm.
we bring you the weird, the wacky, and the wild news of the week. And I gotta tell you, there's some crazy headlines this week. I know the last 2 weeks we took a break from some headlines halfway through to answer some Reddit questions with our guests. We might have some guests again coming up, but right now we've got both of our favorite guests of all, fucking nobody. So we could just jump right
Right.
into it. Jason, you've got a
Exactly.
story for us.
I do. Our first story today comes to us from WBRC Fox 6 News.
Fuck
On your
yeah.
side, it says. Yeah.
Well, you know
Uh,
what? I'm gonna say a good friend shouldn't always be on your side. They should be on your team, but not always on your side in every individual interaction. You know what I'm saying?
right. Like they should be able to tell you like hard truths.
Yeah, exactly
Like,
right. And can Fox 6
right.
do that?
I don't know. I guess I don't follow them enough to know if they do that kind of thing. Yeah. I imagine on your side they probably if your landlord screws you out of a deposit or something, you can call them and they probably have the local news
And
guy
who's
like
gonna
will
look
show up
out? Who's
and
gonna look out for the landlords then, Jason?
that's true. I don't know. Well, maybe they're on their
And one
side too.
day, when I make enough
Maybe
money through this podcast to become a landlord, who's gonna look out for me?
right. Who's going to think about your needs?
Yeah, think
I
about
don't know.
that.
I will. Thank you. Comes to us. Yeah, it says by the Associated Press. Man flies nearly 1,000 miles to attack fellow gamer with hammer. Deputies say.
And boy, are his arms tired.
Yeah. Plus, he was carrying that hammer. You imagine?
Man,
Uh,
first off, can I just say, like, it's not that impressive. 1,000 miles. That's about. Oh, I'm trying to think off the top of my head what 1,000 miles is. That's like if you were to do like New York to like Colorado, that would be like 1,000 miles, right?
so I think that's a little further.
Let me see.
I don't know.
1,000 miles is. I don't need the distance. I need. Yeah, that's 2,000 miles. So this guy threw from
Yeah.
New York to like Chicago or like Iowa or whatever. That's not. It's a lot less impressive when you say that, right? Like, did he have the hammer
Right.
on the flight?
Turns out he didn't. We'll get to that. But
Or,
yeah,
yeah, I was
no,
gonna
you're
say,
right.
yeah, buy it on the way.
Right. In 2024, flying 1,000 miles isn't
Yeah,
that's
like
that's not that big of a that's a few $100 if you plan ahead.
if you're like, it's not even about like if it was a shorter distance than that, he'd have probably driven, right? That's what I'm saying. You take a bus, right? If it was like you're going from New York to
Yeah.
Massachusetts, because if you're going to kill someone, the Greyhound is the best method of transportation.
I don't know if it's the best, but I think it's probably the most popular
Really,
amongst
what do
people that
you
are going to
all
kill
right,
someone.
Staten Island Ferry's really good, actually. Staten Island Ferry's really good, but it's too
That's a good
situational.
one.
It's very situational.
Right.
What
Yeah.
are you taking?
What if I'm going to kill someone?
Yeah. Besides a
Uh,
car, besides like your car, which is actually not a good choice because then they see that car, scene of the crime.
right. Um, hmm. I guess it depends. I think number one, if at all feasible, a kayak that would be
Well,
that'd be a lot of fun.
you're drowning someone, or you're just gonna beat them to death in the kayak.
Well, you have the oar. right? You could beat the hell out of someone with that. But both you and them would have to be on connected bodies of water for that to work.
Yeah,
And
exactly. That's going to be a whole thing. What do you do? I'm thinking by land or air. Like I'm thinking the Greyhound.
otherwise, hang glider.
Hang glider. Ooh, hang glider is good actually. Hang glider
Yeah,
is good because you could just drop them, and it's kind of like you just pretend it was an accident. You could pretend like I was trying to save them. I was trying to pull a Superman.
right. Yeah. Well, and it's quiet.
Yeah, you could say the line from Batman Begins: "The I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you either." And then you just fucking drop them from the hang
Yeah,
glider.
that's right. No, exactly. Um,
All right, sorry. Continue.
I
All right, so,
don't know
so
if
we
I
were at
even
the
started.
headline. This guy flew 1,000
Yeah,
miles
yes,
to
yeah.
kill another gamer.
Attack someone.
Are you?
To
You're
attack.
right. We're both gamers.
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you do anything multiplayer? Like any online multiplayer?
yeah. I used to be big into it, like the early aughts. Like I was super into World of Warcraft
Yeah, yeah. I
when
played
it first
RuneScape
came
as a
out.
kid around that era.
Yeah,
And then obviously like the original Modern Warfare, I played a lot online when that came out. Call of Duty 4.
yeah.
But currently, I mean, the only like online multiplayer that I really do is I do Minecraft. You could watch me stream Minecraft on my YouTube channel, Andrew Michaels Comedy, or I'll play some Fortnite, right? And the moment that I got this gaming PC that I'm recording this on, that's like going to make our podcast a billion times better.
Right.
It asked me when I booted up Fortnite, like, do you want to turn on voice chat? And I was like, nope, absolutely not.
Mhm. Yeah.
I know it's probably gotten better than it was like back in the 2000s because you can't just like scream the N word or without getting caught for like a really long time, but it's not
Right.
like great.
Yeah. No, I do. I play online. I'm not particularly good. Like
Man,
if I'm playing kind of any sort of like deathmatch shooter, if I finish like in the middle, I'm usually pretty happy with myself. I certainly am never like number one, but if I'm like dead last for a couple times, I'll just turn it off.
yeah, well that's how you get to. Well, if you come in dead last in any of those, I mean, we don't need to go into it. When you come in dead last in like Fortnite or any of those battle royale games, you like turn it back on right away because you're like, oh, I just got fucked on that drop. I'm just gonna restart. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
anyway, but I'll always say that like between that, people getting heated on these chats, like the sort of
Uh-huh.
banter getting a bit too heated, people get really mad. Like whenever I even had other people audible, like when I was playing Call of Duty like a few years ago downstairs,
Mhm.
and I didn't even have like a headset, but for some reason the voice chat was coming through on my TV, and
Mhm.
someone was camping, which I don't know if you know what that is, but if you're not a
I do.
gamer
Yeah.
in a first person shooter, camping is when you stay in one spot and you just shoot people from
Right.
there and they can't really get there.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
I don't. I've never done it because I've never been patient. Like I just get bored. But like I've never seen the issue with it because it always just seemed like that's like what a sniper would do.
Mhm.
But like this person starts like immediately like they got killed by this person like 3 or 4 times, and they like start off being like, stop camping, play the game, and then they killed again, and they start like screaming for like full
Mhm.
on 3 minutes, and I'm like, how do I fucking mute this, right? And so like people people need to chill. Can I just say, if you get this worked up, don't.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Uh, Fernandina Beach, Florida.
Oh, okay,
An
never. That
online
makes sense.
an online gaming dispute made its way to the real world when a New Jersey man flew to Florida to attack another player with a hammer,
Ooh,
authorities said. Yeah, so
nice,
we're going New Jersey to Florida. So
nice. Only the best people
there's your
do.
1,000 miles. Yeah. Ed,
Always a time tested and good journey for a young man to make.
right. So it's almost a rite of passage.
Oh man.
Edward Kang, 20, is charged with attempted second-degree murder and an armed burglary with a mask, according to Nassau County court records, who was arrested early Sunday morning. I just want to let you know this is a weird one. Nassau County Sheriff Bill Leeper said during a news conference on Monday, some things you just can't make up.
Well,
Hanging the well, yeah,
you can make things up, but they didn't make
you
this
can
up.
make a lot of
Yeah,
things
you
up.
can make.
Yeah,
I make shit up all the time. It's fun.
right. Yeah. Kang and the victim, another young man around the same age as Kang, had never met in real life, but they both played Arcage, a medieval fantasy, massively multiplayer online role playing game, Leeper said.
I've never heard of
The
that.
game's publisher, I haven't either. And it's probably just as well because the publisher announced in April it'd be shutting down servers in Europe and North America June 27th.
Oh man. So
So it's what's today? It's defunct as of
it's as of
today, right?
yesterday. As of yesterday, we were recording
As of
this on the
yesterday.
28th.
Yeah.
So yesterday was the last day to play Arcage. This guy missed out on his.
Yeah.
That's what. So not only are you attempting to attack someone over a game that is about to be defunct, right? But also, you're missing out on the last day to play that game.
Right.
You know, like
Yep.
that's got to be like if you like an MMO, you probably want to be there on the last day if there's going to be a last day.
No, I agree. That's the real tragedy of this story.
Well, did the guy get killed? Did anyone die?
No.
So then, yeah, it is the real tragedy.
No one died. No one died. Yeah. Kang flew from Newark, New Jersey to Jacksonville, Florida last Thursday after telling his mother he was going to visit a friend they had met while playing a video game. Officials didn't say how Kang learned where the victim lives. Upon arrival, Kang took an Uber to a hotel in Fernandina Beach. It's hard to say in a weird Fernandina.
Fernandina Beach.
Fernandina Beach.
Say it like this. Fernandina Beach, like that. Like you got to really get into the rhythm of it.
Fernandina Beach.
Yeah, like that. See? Doesn't that roll off a lot easier?
It does. Yeah. Yeah, Fernandina Beach, about 35 miles north of Jacksonville, then bought a hammer at a local hardware store, deputies said.
Yeah.
I will say, there is something a little quaint about, like, he went and bought a hammer. Like, that was his chosen murder weapon.
Well, I would rather be shot than, like, bludgeoned to death with a hammer, you know? Like, that's a really horrible way to go. Not to get morbid, but, like...
Well, right, but also, it takes a lot more effort to bludgeon someone with a hammer than it does to shoot them.
Yes,
like,
it does. It absolutely
definitely, does. And
but you're surviving with a lot of brain damage.
Well, I think I would rather face someone who had a hammer than a gun. To be honest.
I mean, I'd be more likely to disarm them realistically. The thing is like you're flying New Jersey to Florida, like you are going to run into someone with a gun, like very likely this person you're going after, right? Like,
right.
That's one thing to keep in mind.
Right. Well, and also he didn't buy like a knife or a machete or I don't know, a hammer. It's just kind of a weird choice.
Yeah, no, I could see that. It is kind of a, it is kind of like, it's a gamer's weapon of choice in a lot of ways, right? Because like it's a cool one to have in a video game. Like I know we play D&D together, and you like having your warhammer. Your character's name is Gearn Stouthammer, and you have a big hammer.
Right, I have a warhammer. Yeah.
And I know we've got our friend David, who anytime you play any Dark Souls game with him, he's always choosing the big smashing hammer weapon. I've always liked playing as ninjas and stuff, being nimble, but like I think that like the hammer, it's like this thing that people are like, oh, it's super cool and it'll show my strength and it's really visceral. Like you use it to knock people out in Hitman a lot. I like the Hitman games, but it's not, it's not like unless you know what you're doing. I mean, you're gonna hurt someone if you hit them with a hammer because it's a hammer and you're hitting someone with it.
Yeah, I don't.
And especially
I don't
hitting someone in the head. But like, they're the situation to get a perfect hit on someone with a hammer isn't going to present itself as easily as you think it does from playing video games, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. So, so Kang went to the victim's Fernandina Beach home, which was unlocked around 2 a.m. Sunday. Victim was walking out of his bathroom.
I want to back for our Fernandina Beach listeners. Do not, I guess really anyone, but I feel like especially, I'm going to say if you live in Fernandina Beach, Florida, not even knowing anything about it, like just don't be unlocked at 2 a.m. You should lock, just put that little lock on the door. Do the little top lock as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Victim was walking out of his bedroom when he was confronted by Kang, who hit him on the head with a hammer, officials say. Two struggled as the victim called for help. Stepfather responded and helped restrain Kang until police arrived.
Oh man.
Victims, the victims, the victim suffered several head wounds that were not considered life-threatening, officials say. He received staples at the hospital.
So if you are saved by your stepdad because I don't know, was the victim also an adult, or is this like a teenager?
Yes.
Because
No,
another adult man,
it says they're the same age.
yeah, another adult man flies to your house to attack you after playing a canceled MMO. Like, you're never hearing the fucking end of it, right? It's like it's over, right?
Right. Well, what was it you said? He was not just a stepdad; he was a dad who stepped up.
He did literally step up. You gotta give him
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
man.
and like you were saying, so apparently, dude went down there with the hammer and like confronted his target instead of like ambushing him.
Okay.
Right. Well, like
That's
to your
very,
point of like,
yeah, it's exactly, it's very like, aha, I must confront you, like you're preparing for a fucking
right,
boss fight, right? Like, holy
right,
shit, like somewhere between your house and Newark International Airport, because this guy probably flew out of Newark, right? Like,
yeah,
pull
mhm,
over. New Jersey is not just the turnpike, so there are places where you can actually pull over and just touch, just with your little fingers, just touch a single blade of grass and like not do this, not fucking do it
right,
this way. Holy shit! Oh my god!
yeah,
Like, holy
yeah,
shit, man! Like,
hmm
uh,
no, that's yeah. Once in custody, Kang told investigators that the victim is a quote bad person online. He also asked deputies how much jail time people got for breaking and entering an assault.
a
I
lot
would say,
usually
Mister, yeah,
in
uh,
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. Leaper said, I would say, Mr. Kang, it's going to be a long time before you play video games again.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Um.
He's being held without bond. But yeah, no, I pretty fucked up. Yeah.
The thing
I mean,
is, too, like being like this person's a bad person online, like the standards for that are really like there are some really bad people online actually, like on the internet there are some not good people.
right. And I can I can envision circumstances where yeah, there are things that people could do online that maybe like would make you angry enough that you would fly, you would go want to confront them over it. Maybe. Like, but in the context of a MMO, like an online video game,
That's
what
insane,
could he have been doing that's
right?
so bad? You know
Like,
what I mean?
no, it's
Like was he a spawn
I
camper?
mean,
Did he
obviously,
like
oh, in an MMO,
he he bought
he's
all the
bot farming. He's bot farming
I was gonna
resources,
say,
right?
right. He like he bought all the copper from the auction house or like yeah,
Oh
I don't
man,
know. I just can't imagine anything that would come even close to
insane!
yeah,
No, it's wild. Yeah, well, unfortunately, no more reason to attack someone over this game because it's canceled. RIP.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
you'll have to find a better game. You'll have to find a different game to fly to Florida to try to kill someone with a hammer over.
So, right. Right.
Um, Super Smash Brothers, maybe. No,
That's pretty good.
Nintendo
Yeah.
makes it hard to get doxxed, though. That's the thing. Like, to their credit, because they're like, they make it very hard to like dox someone. I feel like. So you're probably not going
Yeah.
to do it with Super Smash Brothers.
Hmm. I don't know.
What video game are you guys flying to Florida to attack someone with a hammer over? Let
Just
us
to
know
beat
in
the
the
hell out of
Spotify
people.
question.
Right. Diablo 4, maybe?
Ooh, that could be
They,
good.
th-
Maybe
they
I
nerfed
should, I
the
should get
class
Diablo
again.
now that I have a PC. I didn't want to play it on a controller, but
Um, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I guess, I guess be careful if you're being an asshole to people,
Yeah.
playing,
As someone who loves being an asshole to people on the internet, this is a harrowing
right,
story for me. I am actually
right,
low key sweating in this chair a bit, but
right,
you
right.
know,
I'm definitely locking my doors.
definitely be careful out there. Um, all right, we got a next story. This is on MSN. This is from by Elena Loftus. The original copy I sent you, Jason, was on a different source, but it presented it as some annoying fucking
Yeah,
slideshow, and I was like, I don't want to use that. So
yeah,
I
fuck
will
that.
read. I'm not reading. Do not, journalists, if you put your thing in a slideshow, I'm not going to read it.
Mhm.
I would
No.
literally rather be misinformed and
Mhm.
buy into dangerous authoritarian propaganda than ever click to slide to. Like, I swear to
Right.
fucking God, that
Yeah,
is not a joke.
right. I'm buying the plane tickets and Hammer right now, you know?
I will, for real. No, you buy the plane tickets, you land, you buy a cup of coffee and a egg and cheese
Right.
sandwich from the Dunkin' Donuts Express at the airport.
Oh,
Then you get
no, that's good. Yeah.
then you get the hammer
Right.
at a local hardware store. Which, by the way, good on this
Yeah.
guy. Before we continue to the next story, good on
Yeah.
that guy for shopping local. I do want to say
Right.
that.
He did. Yeah, he didn't go to like Home Depot.
That exactly. You didn't go to
He
fucking
he went
Walmart
to
or Home Depot. Like, didn't order it on
right. He went to
Amazon.
like the right, went to Ace or whatever. Yeah, went to the local.
Yeah. No, for real. That good for him. Good for him. If you
Mhm.
are gonna listen, guys, don't fly to Florida to attack someone with a hammer. But if you're gonna
Mhm.
fly to Florida to attack someone with a hammer,
Mhm.
uh, shop local. That's all we ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, so we've talked a bit about David Gallaudet before. I think he's a retired U.S. Navy officer who's talked a bit about USOs, under unidentified submersible object, as a theory
Mhm.
surrounding UAPs/UFOs. For our listeners who might not be aware, that they either are coming from underwater, from some sort of advanced civilization, or are alien vessels that have since landed underwater and have aquatic capabilities. Um,
Mhm.
So he's again voicing his concern that UFOs are not flying in the sky as we might imagine, but instead hiding beneath the ocean's surface.
Mhm.
Um, he said that the unidentified objects that are more commonly known as UFOs are an urgent national security concern, and he's particularly identifying those that can travel seamlessly from land to sea.
Sure.
He noted in his report that the 2019 USS Omaha incident, which was a recording of a UFO off the coast of San Diego, in which it
Right.
disappeared underwater without a trace.
Yeah.
This was then released by Jeremy Corbell and verified by the Pentagon.
Mhm.
He noted in a report that this was not the first sighting of an object accelerating and moving between land and sea in a way that defies human-made technology and laws. So he's continuing to be very critical of the Department of Defense for not taking serious action against UFOs, particularly against the maritime aspect. So what's really interesting, I mean,
Mhm.
the story, both this and the fucking slideshow version, did not go very in depth. But what I did find
Mhm.
interesting about this story was the way that it's highlighting sort of, now that we're getting more quote unquote transparency and looking into this from the U.S. government, there still is a
Sure.
desire to kind of, put a particular angle way off to the side that you have, people on the naval side saying could be particularly dangerous. So,
Mhm.
I think it is definitely something that, at least from the footage that I've seen, like it seems pretty. If at least from that 2019 footage, like it seems pretty clear that there is some sort of capability, and that's Pentagon verified footage,
Mhm.
right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting story. I know we're kind of we've been in a bit of like a serious UFO lull,
Mhm.
but I've kind of found this. I find the USO thing very interesting in general, and like I said, I found that
Yeah.
concerning as far as like our own relationship with the Earth and potential hostile intentions as well.
Right. Right. No, I think it's interesting too. Like, when I was younger in the 80s and 90s, the USO, the
Mhm.
undersea aspect, I don't recall that ever being like part of the conversation in the way that it is now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
UFOs were always seen in the context of like being extraterrestrial, like coming from
right.
the sky as opposed to
And something being a
coming from underwater.
USO doesn't. actually discount that, right? Because you have
Sure.
you have like if you have something that can travel by land, air, or sea, then or just by air and sea, then it would make sense that it would be fully submersible.
No. Of course. But it wasn't even brought up like in that context. Yeah. So this is interesting to me that like this is kind of a new take on the phenomenon. Um, yeah, I don't know. It would certainly make sense in terms of like if there were extraterrestrials coming here and they wanted to,
Mhm.
hang out for a while for whatever reason,
Or if
what
that's just most
three?
similar to your environment, right? If you're used to the
Yeah.
sort of underwater, like
Oh, that's true.
a high pressure environment, if you have a planet with a lot of pressure, you're probably, a deep sea environment might be the best place to replicate that as well.
No,
Um,
that's absolutely true.
right.
And and it's what, like 3/4 of the Earth's surface that the dominant intelligent species can't really go to. I mean, we can to an extent, but like this is a vast area of our planet that
It's
by
totally,
and
we don't know
large, like
anything
no
about.
one's
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
people try and it doesn't go super well, if you recall.
No. Yeah, sort of famously. Um, yeah, and then of course, there's sort of the like guilty conscience aspect of like humans polluting the oceans, dumping shit in there. So now, of course, we're going to be maybe like vigilant, hyper vigilant about
Yeah, man.
like sort of waiting for for the shoe to drop where something comes out of the water to teach us a lesson.
Yeah.
Um, unless maybe these undersea species have been polluting us the entire time and we just
Ooh.
haven't noticed it.
Yeah, they're throwing all
Like
their dead whales.
right, they're just shoving them on our beaches. Then we have to
Yeah.
blow them up with dynamite. Sometimes I think that's how they get rid of them.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah.
It's what I don't understand. So if you're the guy who blows up the whale with the dynamite, what's your
Mhm.
job the rest of the time? Like when you're not doing, do you just do other like how often do you get whale dynamite training? Is it general dynamite training? Like I don't understand
Right.
because there's not enough beached whales for you to be blowing up a new whale every day.
Right. No, that's an excellent question. I guess you'd be more of a dynamite expert than a whale expert, right?
You have to be little column A, little column B.
So maybe you're just doing other like dynamite related jobs the rest of, I don't know, blowing up mountain passes or I don't know, what do people use dynamite for now? Fishing,
Fishing and blowing up
getting
mountain
rid of
passes, I think, are the big two. Yeah.
getting rid of tree stumps. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to blow up an old timey safes. Isn't that something people did with dynamite?
Blowing up old timey safes, actually. Yeah, so maybe that's it. You do an old timey safe, then you got to do a whale, then you got to do open up a new mine.
Right.
Long day.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like being a podcaster.
Right. It would be kind of cool though. I wouldn't say no to that kind of gig.
Blowing up, I don't know. I wouldn't
Being a
want to deal with
dynamite
blowing
guy.
up a whale. I'm not worried about dying. We figured out
No, no.
dynamite, but like, I don't want to deal with the whale.
It'd be kind of gross, but
Yeah, it'd be
what else are
really
you gonna
not
do with
kind
it?
of gross. You're blowing up a fucking dead whale. It's disgusting.
Right, but what else are you gonna do? Like,
It's not about that.
what's
I
a
just don't
whale?
want to have to fucking be
Like
around a
30
dead whale.
tons.
Yeah, I just don't want. I just
No,
don't want to be around the meat flying around. It's not about. I don't feel
I
ethically bad
gotcha.
about it. I just don't want
No,
to.
no, I gotcha.
I don't want to go home smelling like whale guts thrice
Like
a
dead
year.
whale,
Yeah, that gets in
whale
you. That's gonna
innards.
get in my
Yeah,
Honda Fit.
right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah,
Man,
ain't no amount of Febreze getting that out.
no, none at all. And I do not think that I don't think that I'm getting any fucking interior cleaning from the fucking what's the brand of car wash? What's the car wash chain that you see? Do you know what I'm talking
Shit.
about? You see the car,
Kind of, yeah. Is it? Man.
Cyclone or something? I don't know. I'm gonna look this up.
Oh, is that it? Maybe there's different ones out here.
Car wash chain. Mr. Car Wash is the biggest chain. So yeah, I guess at a Mr. Car Wash. I've never heard of that chain, but sure, that's the joke I was going
No,
for.
I haven't either.
I don't want to say
Yeah.
the chain I was thinking about because now I'm like, man, that's gonna make me super doxable. So let's not do that. All right, we are gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have 2 more
Yeah.
stories.
Yep.
Stay tuned. All right.
All right.
Welcome back from a seamless break that I hopefully edited out.
Yep. Yeah. Hopefully. Our third story, this is from the Mirror.
Oh, nice. We love that website.
Yeah. One of our favorites. This is by Monica Charlesley.
Did she have to change that after the Queen died? Was it Elizabeth Lee, and then you think she had to change it to Charles Lee, and then when he croaks, he's gonna have to change it to what's the next one? William Lee. That's good. That's a shitty last name.
That is bad. Yeah, I think that's how it works, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what other point having a royal family is other than.
You know what the hardest part is? You know what the hardest part was, by the way, when the Queen died and the King took over that they didn't tell you about? Was they have to change out straight up like every butt plug in the country.
Oh. I didn't think of that, but you're right.
Like different shape, different texture. They have to, all of it. That's why people had to take so many days off of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whereas here in the United States, like I know I personally am still using my Bill Clinton butt plug.
Oh yeah, totally. No, I mean, and I still have like my. I mean, I got my Obama Prince Albert, and I'm keeping it. Like.
Right. Yeah, and so far, no one makes you change it.
So far. One job interview tried to.
Who knows? Yeah. Yeah. Headline: Psychic claims doll is possessed by Princess Diana, and it's worried about Kate.
I feel like, why is she worried about? Like, I know she's married to your son, but that's also some lady you never met too. It's the other thing, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. A psychic has claimed that a doll is possessed by the spirit of Princess Diana after a worried client desperately begged her to examine it after witnessing, quote, paranormal events.
I mean, shit's happening in that country, though. It's a weird paranormal country.
Yeah, I think we've, I
know they have a ghost shortage right now, but, like, obviously royals are gonna, they're gonna get on that list.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a matter of time, but no, we do. There does seem to be a unusually high level of ghost activity that we hear about from the UK.
Yeah.
Versus like here in the US or.
I don't know what it is. We only hear about. We don't. I think we just. We must just kick our ghosts out more efficiently.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what like immigration control's for. We're catching the ghosts at the border.
I think this is a problematic interpretation and parallel, man. I don't know if that's the road. I'm going to say this is James Strong's opinions do not reflect the opinions of Andrew Michael or Underworld News Tonight.
Immigrant ghosts stay in Mexico. Am I right?
I would love it. I would love a Mexican ghost. Are you kidding me?
I think I
bet they have a lot of really good old family recipes. I feel like.
No, I think. Right. Yeah. I think I'd be okay with that. Milagros Albarracin. No, I butchered that. Milagros. I'm comfortable with that pronunciation.
Okay, you got that.
Albarracin.
Albarracin?
Albarracin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not reading names. I don't know. It could be right or wrong.
Yeah. That's probably wrong. But Milagros Albarracin from Peru agreed to observe the figure of Lady Di after the customer confided in her and said she noticed the doll had moved around in her display cage. Oh, sorry. So many pop-ups on the mirror.
I feel like there are some really loose display cases that these dolls go in. I know they got to be comfortable if they're haunted, but like, I feel like all the time you hear about like Princess Di, Annabelle, they're moving around, they're moving about.
Right. Well, it's a little weird that this is in Peru, right?
No, not at all. I
Like,
mean, are you
you
gonna want to
think
go
that
back to a place with shitty weather if you're a Princess Di?
now that's a really good point.
Yeah. No, is there more to the story though?
Yeah, quite a bit, but sorry, now it's not loading. I accidentally I fat fingered one of the pop up ads, so
That happened to me on the Mirror
so
website earlier this week.
so, so now I'm fucked. Now I'm down. I'm stuck in like a rabbit hole of low cost dentures and penis pills. All right,
Oh
here we
man, a
go.
2 for 1. It's good because I've gotten some cheap penis
Right,
pills before, and the thing is, they're like tough to chew.
they are right.
They don't
Yeah,
tell you
so
that
you need those dentures. Hmm.
they're so cheap because they come rare.
Yeah, yeah, real gamey.
Not gamey.
Gnawing on that shit for hours.
Oh my god! Just imagine seeing an old guy like just chewing like a blue piece of gum, like your boss at work, and you're like, "What do you have? Like tried it?" And he's like, "Nah, new Viagra recipe."
Right. um, where to? Oh yeah. Noticed it all move around in her display cage. A woman said the model would change positions when she wasn't looking, and explained it was the only doll who displayed any
You know
behavior.
what? You know what? I'm gonna stop you there. Change positions while you're not looking. Then stop looking. Let the lady. She has been dead for 30 years, divorced for like 35. Let her flick the bean.
Right. No, I completely agree. And also display cage.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a case. That's a
Is that what
lot
we do?
nicer. That's is that
Right.
that's I'd be fucking yeah. Holy
I'd
shit.
be pissed. Right. The clairvoyant described that whilst the doll looked ordinary at first, it soon reacted with the same suspicious movements as her client had recalled. Milagros went on to further claim the doll was lying on her table 1 minute and then was found in a sitting position the next.
Man, that again, like
Yeah,
I feel like if you like having haunted dolls, you can't freak out this much when they move.
right. Right. You have to sort of expect it.
Yeah, at a certain point.
Yeah.
Um, man, why
Yeah.
is what's this about? Why is Princess Di going after this lady in Brazil's doll?
Um well, the clairvoyant had claimed
Oh,
that
Peru, not Brazil. Sorry.
yeah, uh the clairvoyant had figured out a way to hook the doll up to a transistor radio, and then claimed that she can hear the doll speak to her via the transistor radio.
Nice. That sounds good. I should do that to my childhood toys and have them tell me
Just
we had to see you masturbate for years and
right,
years after seeing
right.
you in your innocent times.
What are you trying to tell me, Optimus Prime? um, yeah, so Milagros hooked the doll up, asked the doll how it's feeling. The die doll answered,
Like it's time
sad.
to get the lead out. Oh shit, it's on
Uh,
FM.
right. It's two for Tuesday. Here's two from Leonard Skinner. um, yeah, she asked the doll who it was, heard the word Diana, was apparently audible through the radio noise.
There have been other ladies named Diana. I'm gonna say that. There have been other
Yeah.
Dianas.
Mhm.
That is a wild
Yeah.
assumption. That's an actually kind of low key insane assumption to make. That like just because the doll's name is Diana, it's Princess Diana is like kind of fucking insane.
Well, I think the doll is like princess doll.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's well,
That
a Princess
that's the sense
Diana
I get.
doll or like a generic princess doll, like a Princess Peach.
I mean, looking at the photos, it's like a blonde, contemporarily dressed woman. So
Yeah, like
I
Princess
guess
Peach.
Diana. You think Princess Peach? Well, I don't think Princess Peach wears like a cardigan sweater, right? She always has like kind of a fancy
No, she
dress.
lets the jugs out.
Yeah. Uh, Milagros asked the figurine, "Are you worried? Why?" She hears the doll answering yes and clarifying with the word "son." The
Oh man.
psychic asks, "Well, why are you worried?" and claims she hears the response, "Kate." The doll allegedly confirms with a yes. Milagros said the figure answered Kate because she thinks Diana's spirit is worried about her grandchildren.
That, all right, I'm gonna say like I'm usually pretty on the side of the Mirror's supernatural reporting, right? But like
Mhm.
this seems a bit out there. It seems a bit ridiculous. I don't think that Princess Di is going out of country to possess dolls or people.
Whoa!
Hello, hello,
Wow! What? Hello? What?
hello.
Andrew?
No, it's me, Princess Diana of
Oh wow!
Wales. I think
What a what a get for this podcast. Oh, we'll say
I
Wales.
I I,
Sure.
I love podcasts, of course. You know,
Yeah. Do you have a favorite or?
uh, it's a bit of an obscure one. It's a bit of an indie one.
Hmm?
Do you listen to any cooking podcasts?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, it reminds me. It's a bit devilishly simple. It's called canceled celebrities shoving baguettes up their ass and begging the public for forgiveness. Not a lot of
Oh.
people listen, actually. Yeah.
Hmm.
But it's quite good. I have to tell you. The
Okay.
it gets really into, and it makes you appreciate a good sandwich. It makes you appreciate a good sandwich as
Hmm.
well. But oh
Oh
man,
wow.
That Kevin Spacey episode is something else.
Yeah. I can imagine. Wow.
Yeah.
It's such a yeah, such an honor to have you here. I don't even know so many things I want to ask, but I guess I guess as pertains to the story, like, is it true that you possessed a Peruvian doll because you're worried about your son and Kate? And apologies, I can't remember
So
which son married Kate. William, is that right?
this is a misunderstanding of both. Yeah, Big Willie or whatever the fuck I called him.
Willie, yeah. Mhm.
This is a misunderstanding of both what I was trying to accomplish and my legacy as a whole. So, did I
Okay.
possess a lady's doll in Peru?
Mhm.
Yes. Sometimes
Okay.
it's funny to do that to spook people. But then,
Sure.
she was doing the radio thing. She was asking me what I was worried about. And I guess she thought I was saying son, Kate, because she had a
Mhm.
shitty fucking radio, right?
Sure.
What I was saying was, it's sunny, do ketamine.
Oh.
Like,
Oh
get
wow.
out. It's nice. It's
Sure.
the summer.
Yeah.
Do some fucking cat. Like in
Yeah.
general,
Mhm.
and I think this is like, if I may, like how my legacy I feel has been sort of whitewashed in a lot of ways. I want to say
Mhm.
because like I would, as a when you're in the royal family, right? People say it's not
Mhm.
really a job. It's not really a job, but so much of it is about
Sure.
being out there, being in the
Sure.
public, being a voice, being a face. Um,
Uh-huh.
so and people know about a lot of the various advocacy I did for people with AIDS and HIV, and for peace
Right.
and for hunger and stuff like that. But also,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
would go from schools to schools to schools, and I would say, kids, listen, times are tough. It's stressful.
Mhm.
You have to get good grades, and on top of that, you're British, and that's so yeah, you're gonna
Right.
look like that.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
look at your dad. That is what you're gonna look like,
Right.
Um,
Right.
look at my husband.
Yeah.
And I eventually, like, so I would say, like, what you need to do is obviously stay away from any of the hard drugs yet. You gotta wait until you're older. But
Sure.
if you have
Sure.
access to even like whipped cream canisters, you have
Mhm.
access to what's called nitrous, and you could do so much
Mhm.
with that. And then I would bring in my own canister. I would show them
Mhm.
how to do a whip it. We would pass it
Uh-huh.
around, do them as a
Yeah.
group. And constantly people would say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Oh, it's a bad look. Oh, like
Sure.
that teacher had to drive home, stuff like that." But like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I just think I think that's why they took me out. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Wow. No, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, your whippet advocacy.
It was controversial. I mean, Britain
No,
is still a
absolutely.
very
Yeah.
conservative place, but especially back then, they
Hmm.
just were not ready for that.
No. No.
Yeah, so I think that's sort of the main gist of it.
Mm. So we just missed your message then. So you're to be clear, you don't care. You're not worried about Kate and what was William. Uh,
I'm sorry. I'm
it's
sorry.
just
Who are you talking about?
the Kate and William.
Are these sorry? Are these like obviously I died in 1994, so I might be a bit behind the times on this. Are those like there's like your American football players?
Well, William's your son.
Williams my I'm sorry. I would never have a bald son.
Well, so you do know
Well,
him.
do I know him? I at this point in my afterlife, I choose to only know hot people.
I think you died in '97, actually, not
Well,
'94. But
who's fucking counting?
right, who am I to correct you? But yeah, and yeah, and Kate is William's wife.
Oh man.
What he's second in line for the throne. Charles, of course, now is on the throne.
So oh, Charles is on the throne. Oh, wow,
Yeah,
man, that's crazy.
yeah.
Uh, you think? So, or maybe this is a bit in poor taste. You think that when bald people like get married, um, do you think that they pick? You think that they have to pick out like a wig to wear, in bed, so that they don't have to see the disgusting bald head. So his wife doesn't have to look at like his disgusting bald
Let's.
head when he's trying to make love. You know what I'm saying?
I would think. Uh, I would think the fun of it would be that they could wear different wigs, right? So
I
so it would just sort of be, they could be tonight. I'm feeling like the long hair, baby, or we'll do the crew cut tonight, right?
I just
Like kind
don't
of spice things
understand
up.
because Charles isn't bald, right? And I wasn't bald. So how's
No.
William bald? Must have done something to deserve it in Iraq.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know about that. No, as I recall, I think he had a full head of hair when he was married. He was quite the he was quite the looker. Um, yeah, he is a British man, so he aged like 3 times faster than any other human male would. So yeah, I think now he's in his mid 30s, and he looks like he's pushing 60.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like this whole interview, we've been talking about me, we've been talking about my family. I do feel like as a member of the royal family, part of it is also like connecting with people. How are things for you? How are you feeling?
Oh, um, yeah, I'm pretty good. It is a nice day here, so I was thinking about maybe
Oh,
doing
oh,
some
hold on, sorry,
journaling
sorry,
later.
sorry.
Yeah,
Jimmy, is it Jimmy? You said.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah,
Sorry,
Jason.
sorry. I have a phone call. 1 second. Hey, yeah, it's Di. What up?
Mm,
All right, no, yeah, I just got to bounce on this fucking loser. 1 sec.
okay. That's
Sorry,
very
sorry,
cool.
sorry. That was just a quick call. I actually have to go. I've got a few rounds of golf with OJ Simpson and Kim Jong Il, so I have to go. It was a
Sure.
pleasure to possess this weird Jew. Nice to meet you. Uh,
Yeah. Wow. Well, that was
what?
exciting.
I man, I feel traumatized. I just ran through the afterlife, back and forth.
Really?
I saw my own death.
Ugh.
Yeah,
That can't be good.
yeah. Slip on a banana peel in front of the Wienermobile.
Wow.
Yeah, like I slip on a banana
Man.
peel leaving the supermarket, and I slip
Hmm.
in front of the Wienermobile. And obviously they're college
Oh.
kids, and it's a big Paul Ryan fan. He's got a Paul Ryan bobblehead. He pulls out, just runs me right over.
Oh
My head
man.
explodes like a watermelon. Like if you've ever seen Gallagher's act, it was like one of
Yeah.
those.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did you happen to
Uh,
see the? Because yeah. I mean, I would absolutely cover that story on the podcast if you died.
Oh no, totally. You have to. Yeah. Well, who's going
Right.
to replace me though?
Boy, I don't know. I don't know. I think I could carry it.
I think it's going to have to be the guy who runs me over with the Wienermobile.
Well, I would certainly have him on for an interview at least.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just like
Right.
ask him about like how did it feel on the tires? How would you describe the consistency? Was it as empty as you thought?
R-
That sort of thing.
right. Right. Did you feel anything whatsoever?
Yeah, I mean
You
that's
know?
really the real thing. Physically
Right.
or emotionally, is there? Why didn't
Right.
they arrest you?
Right. Yeah.
Why did
Um
the entire supermarket see nothing?
yeah. What why there were reports of applause? I don't know. Yeah. And
Yeah,
depending on how well the interview went, yeah, I'd be open to another co-host. Um
yeah,
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
could possess him, so it would all become kind of full circle.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, so we learned a lot today. That yeah, Diana doesn't give a fuck about William or Kate and wants us to do ketamine in the sunshine.
That sounds like her. It sounds
It
like
does.
that does
Hmm.
actually sound a lot like her.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and I'll take us home with the story. Why people? This is from Sky News. Why people are threatening to poo in Paris's River Seine.
Hmm.
So this was this past Sunday. It was supposed to be the date Paris mayor Anne Hidalgo was going to
Hmm.
swim in the Seine to prove that the water was clean enough for Olympic athletes. Um, but people who were angry at the expense of cleaning up that river have rallied under the hashtag Je suis dans le Seine le 23 juin, which translates as I shit in the Seine on the 23rd of June. I don't know I don't remember how to say 23 in French, so I just said 23.
That's fine.
Uh, Sunday was supposed to be the date Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo, I already said that. She has delayed that dip until just after the French elections in July. Emmanuel Macron, president of France, obviously also said he would swim in the Seine before the games, but he has not said when. A website has been set up with the slogan, "They have plunged us into shit. It's their turn to plunge into our shit." And the anonymous programmer behind the website told the news outlet Actu Paris why people are angry. The problem, I'm sorry, I got to read this in a. I feel like I do have to give the dignity of the French people here. So, the
Sure.
problem is that the resources that have been invested have not been to resolve all the social problems we have at the moment. We have the feeling of being abandoned. We see where their priority was. That turned into Dracula at the end, didn't it?
It did. It did actually. I noticed. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I could start a French accent, but I feel like most accents that aren't
Right.
British, by the end it is just Dracula. Um,
Yeah.
More than 1.4 billion euros,
Mhm.
which then translates to 1.2 billion pounds. I don't know how many dollars that is. Has been spent on trying to make the water safe enough to swim in, with triathlon and open water swimming events is scheduled to take place in the river.
Okay.
But a report published Friday showed the water was still too dirty to swim in, just over 5 weeks out from the first triathlon event. Water
Mm.
samples showed high rates of two kinds of fecal bacteria, including E. coli, and did not meet the standards set for the game, Paris Region Prefect Marc Guillaume said. People are frustrated at the money being invested in this cleanup operation when other issues have been neglected. But it's really not just that. Parisians are also facing high transport costs, homeless encampments
Mhm.
being cleared, prompting the typical allegation, very credible allegations, I should say, that this is an attempt at hiding poverty.
Yeah.
Student housing has been moved to make way for Olympic workers, and this is pretty common. The Olympics are incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
The 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro that cost $11.1 billion. Sports related costs on average tend to be 5.2 billion for the Summer Olympics.
Mhm.
And in 2014, the Sochi Winter Olympics cost $55 billion.
Mhm.
And you don't, so it's not, and they're not a revenue generating operation. It's essentially setting
No.
up these massive pieces of infrastructure for a sporting event that's going to end.
Right.
Um,
Right. And then those, as I understand it, tend to sit like vacant. Like
Yeah.
even the shit Atlanta, and that was what, decades ago. That still sits more or less empty. Like,
No, it's a shit show. I
what
mean,
are you
like,
gonna do with all that? Yeah, all those stadiums and
yeah,
yeah,
no, there it's not it's like not good that we're going to be doing it in Los Angeles next either, like in 28. Like that's not good.
right, right.
Like nobody should want the Olympics. Um
No,
people,
I
yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah. I
nobody has
totally agree.
actually shat in the Seine yet, is what the article kind of ends up saying. But the organizers are saying that they put that up as a
Mhm.
joke, but people could follow through. The website programmer just said nothing is excluded when they were talking to Octu Paris. Um, no, like I mean, it's the whole thing. Like it's this weird thing where like it's such an honor. It's treated as such an honor for cities to get the Olympics. But like if you're trying to live your life in a city, the worst thing that can happen to you is the Olympics.
There's the Olympics. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It's like yeah, the cities do, like when your mother-in-law comes over to visit, you do
Mhm.
like this shitty cleanup that you should have done like years before. So you do a
Exactly.
half-assed job of like pushing all the shit in the closet. And yeah, they push all the you know, unappealing, maybe lower income housing and folks like clear all that away so that they can build these stadiums that will get used once and then never again.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not it's very much a I guess you could say a problem. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the serious side of it. But I don't know. I also don't know how they're realistically going to be able to fucking do a swimming event in that river at this point. That's the other thing too. And
Right.
that's like you need to think about that beforehand. Like
Yeah.
that's like trying to do it
Right.
in the fucking Hudson.
Right. No, I was thinking that. Like, why the fuck did they pick Paris?
Yeah,
Knowing they needed a place for like long distance swimming that they didn't have.
I
Like that doesn't make
assume
any sense.
I assumed they just had a really fucking big pool.
I sort of did too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like I
I didn't know the Olympics like swam in like natural bodies of
yeah,
water.
like I know they row in natural bodies of water, but you're rowing, that's fine. You could like touch it for a minute. You just can't be like, getting it in your mouth and shit. Oh my
Right.
god.
Big gasps of it. Yeah.
Oh my god. No, this is
No. And
I'm with you. Shit in the fucking river. Like shit in the river. I'm like unironically shit in the river. Like
yeah, well obviously people are because it's got a bunch of E. coli, right?
well, I think that's just like I think that just happens on
Like
like big
baseline. Yeah.
yeah, on a big like on a body of water right by like a city. I think you're gonna have that. Yeah.
I as I've gotten older, I'm do do we need the Olympics? Like should is this something why do we keep doing this? Like I feel like people
You know what would
I'm
be
not I'm
really
not
actually
excited about Olympics. Like I don't go out of my way to watch it or I don't know. I just feel like it's not I didn't even know it could
I
be in
don't know.
Paris.
No, I don't agree. I think that there's a way. I mean, it's such a corrupt institution, like for a variety of reasons. The problem, but like
Mhm.
I do think there is like in theory something very good to like these global displays of sportsmanship and camaraderie and stuff like that. Um, that like I think are broadly very positive. I think they allow a lot of cultures to express themselves through the realms of like sport and dance that otherwise are left behind on the world stage.
Sure.
There are things that I've been
Sure.
excited about this Olympics. Like I've been really excited about breakdancing being in the Olympics is one thing,
Oh,
and
that's
stuff like
right.
that.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
like I am not anti-Olympics, but there needs to be a way to do this that doesn't destroy the lives of the working class, like in these cities.
Right. Well, I wonder if a solution wouldn't be to just like hold it in the same city or build a city, build a place where where it won't interrupt people that's what it's used for.
I mean, one other thing you could realistically do is have like different events be held in different places, so you could have like kind of a satellite Olympic. I mean, I know that like part of the point is
That's
that
true.
everybody is
Yeah.
there, but I think like at this point, what you could probably do is have like the swimming events are going to be in this area, and these are the countries that'll do the swimming ones. These are countries that'll do this. These are countries that'll do that. because
Yeah.
like that way you'll at least scatter the number of people, you know, or something. But you
Right.
know, God, no, that's
No, it's fucked up. And
I do not envy anybody living in Paris right now.
no, I typically
Especially
don't.
because there's always too many tourists there as well. Like
Mhm.
they don't want more tourists there. Like that's the other thing.
Right. Now that we're talking about it, wasn't there I remember seeing articles about like the the beds at for the Olympics, like for the athletes, are designed in such a way that they can't have sex. Have you
I don't know about
seen or read anything?
they're gonna fuck. They're gonna fuck,
Well, that's
Jason.
what I'm saying. Like, no. I'm with like, right, like that. Just who cares?
Are you
Like, let them
telling me
fuck.
that the
Like,
most
why is that
athletic people in the fucking world like aren't gonna
right?
find a
You're
way?
gonna get them
They're
all together, yeah, and then they tell them they can't fuck each other.
yeah, they're gonna fucking bathroom stalls now. They're gonna fucking elevators. Like they're gonna fucking
Yes,
like yeah, great. Like now everything else in the Olympic Village is grosser because the bed you can't fuck in the
because they
beds.
can't
Like
fuck in their
now
beds.
you've
Yeah,
had this. It's
yeah,
like it's this horrifying knock-on effect where now just like everything else now has come. Uh,
right, right.
Great idea.
Yeah, careful of your baguette.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
nah, it's fucked up.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, shit in the sand. Go for it.
Go for it, guys. Shit in the Seine. And come all over the Olympic Village. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoyed this show, you could find it on social media, on Facebook,
Mm,
Instagram, and TikTok specifically, and you.
yeah,
No, not on. Yes, and YouTube. Underworld News
YouTube.
Tonight.
Okay.
Try to remember where we are. We are Underworld News Tonight everywhere. Jason, you're on
Mhm.
Instagram.
Yeah, Jason V. Strong. Look for artwork coming up for in preparation for Squonkapalooza.
Squonkapalooza,
Yeah,
August 10th,
yeah.
Johnstown,
Talk about
Pennsylvania.
talk about some fucking going on.
Oh, yeah. That's the Olympic Village of Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
Right. You got a bunch of cryptid fans and one in a is it Pittsburgh suburb?
I
Is that
actually
what
don't
it's
know.
closest to?
I think so. It sounds right.
in a small Pennsylvania town, and you got some fucking going on.
I think you the only difference is like they can be stopped by the bed very easily.
That's yeah, yeah,
If there's
absolutely
only twin beds in the hotel room, they're like, nah, my
right.
back's
Like,
not gonna
no, we're
handle
not.
that.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah,
Not
no,
tonight. Not tonight.
we're not doing this.
Um,
And yeah, what social media can folks find you on?
that's right. You guys can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Andrew Michaels Comedy. You can find little short clips, both of me just joking around and then also doing some stand up. And on YouTube, I've also been streaming some video games. I've been streaming a little bit of
Mhm.
Minecraft. I'm really new to that game, so people have been jumping in to help me out. I'm probably going to try to do that Sunday mornings and maybe Thursday or Wednesday nights or something. I'll see how it works out. But come on, stop by, pop in. Yeah, it'll be super fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And if you're shitting in the Seine, this is what I want to leave you guys with. Oh yeah, remember to answer the Spotify question before you shit in the Seine, because they might, lock you up and throw away the key, or your cell phone service might not work in France. Spotify question: we are asking you, what video game are you flying to Florida to bash someone's head in with a hammer over?
Right.
And you could. That's only on Spotify, but you can go ahead and answer
Mhm.
that by hitting interact, and you can also vote in the poll for your favorite story. Now, what I'm going to say is if you're going to shit in the Seine, bring toilet paper. And don't just bring toilet paper. I'm going to say bring a little extra toilet paper, too. Because at the end of the
Mhm.
day, like, got to care about each other, That's all I'm saying.